Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how to successfully set up a Shopify store from $0 to $1,000 a day with the goal in mind. Now first off, I want to go over a few frequently asked questions. For one, is $1,000 a day achievable on Shopify as a beginner, or even if you've been in the space for some time? The answer is yes. Dropshipping is still very much alive and is not going anywhere. A lot of people ask, how do you deal with long shipping times? You need to remember that dropshipping is just a phase, and we're just using it to validate demand. Now, ideally, you want to validate demand and move to small bulk orders as soon as you can. Another question I get is, if I have no experience selling online or have never done dropshipping before, how long does this take to learn? Is this easy to learn? And the answer is, it's entirely up to you, how much commitment you have to make this business work, because at the end of the day, this is a business. This is not something you should treat as like something on the side or some side hustle. You need to be treating this like a business and taking it seriously, making sure you're tracking all your data and making the best decisions for your business. So without further ado, let's hop into the video. This is going to be a complete A to Z guide from setting up the store, finding a product, doing supplier research, finding a supplier, designing the store, and then getting the product up, and finally setting up the store so it's ready to start running ads to, and wanted to show you the entire process from A to Z. So first things first, you want to do product research. Now there's a few ways to do product research. Something that's been working well for me lately is just searching on TikTok. Now what you can do is, if you don't already have a TikTok account, create a new TikTok account, start liking all the ads you see. Go into different hashtags like TikTok made me buy it. Click a lot of the posts. Like for instance, this one is definitely some type of drop shipping product. You can just tell by the way it looks. Now what I would do is I would actually go to this page here. I would go to the landing page that they're selling the product. I would add the product to the cart, potentially put my payment info, just so I'm triggering the algorithm to think that I'm a active buyer or that I'm interested in these products. That way they will show up more often on my For You page. By doing that, you can kind of train your algorithm to show you more and more products. I think that you should spend at least an hour per day scrolling on TikTok and then saving all your ads and just kind of getting a feel for what the platform's like if you have not already been on it. Other than that, I like to search hashtags like Amazon reviews, TikTok made me buy it. Now, if you search TikTok made me buy it, if you go over to the hashtags column, you'll see it has 13.6 billion views, and you need to note that like all of the other people that are searching for products to sell online are probably also typing in things like this. So just to change up your search, you can scroll through and maybe click one of the hashtags that have less search volume, just to see different products than everyone else. So I would spend some time searching on here until you find a product that solves a problem, has a wow factor, and then some type of room for improvement. I'm just going to scroll for a little bit on here, see what I find, and then we will go with pick a product just to launch an example store. So after doing some scrolling on TikTok, I ended up finding this product. I think it had like 9.6 million views, so it definitely exploded. If we check the comments, one thing I like to do is just see what the general consensus is. If people are calling the product a scam, if they're excited about the product or asking about it, asking where to buy this. So right off the bat, I can see people, this person said, you ship to Germany, will work with Corona and Lime. So I think all in all, the overall consensus is, people are probably buying it, and especially with the amount of views it has and engagement it has on the ad. I'm going to use this for our example store. This might not be a product that I would test myself as far as push ads to, just because in my opinion, it lacks somewhat of a wow factor, although, it is working for this brand, so we'll use it for this example here. All right, so first things first, we're going to want to get a domain. Now, the reason we get our domain before we sign up for Shopify is because if you sign up for Shopify, create an email, and then you figure out the domain isn't available, it's just going to make it more complicated later on. So I always like to start with the domain and then move forward from there. For this one, I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about it. Typically you want it to be broad enough to where it can be an umbrella. And what I mean by that is, like, if you are planning on making this a long-term brand, you really want to be thinking like 2-3 products out. That way you don't like pigeonhole yourself into only selling one thing with your brand name. Now you can always change your domain later, but it's just good to have a good one from the start. So I'm just gonna keep it generic. We'll do like Aquafuser. Let's see if this, okay, so this is available. I'm just gonna check out with this one now. I would say like 90% of the time you really want to go for the .com, at least especially if you're selling in the US. The .com is the most recognizable by online shoppers. If you're having issues getting the .com, I would add the word the in front of your brand name, or even shop afterwards, like Aquafuser maybe .shop. It won't be a huge deal, but I do think getting the .com is like a priority if for like some reason you just can't get the .com, I would say the second is probably like the .co. So this one here. So I'm just going to check out with this one. Just click get now. And then I'm going to continue with the checkout process, and I will meet you on the finished page. All right, so once you finish purchasing your domain, the next thing you need to do is create a Gmail account. Now, I like to do this just because I like to keep everything separate from my main accounts, from my email accounts, and eventually you'd want to create like a separate business bank account. So let's jump in here. We'll just do the same thing as the domain we just bought. We'll do Aquafuser. We will just use that strong password there. Okay, that's taken, so we'll do, like I said earlier, Aquafuser shop. That's fine with me. I'm gonna go ahead and skip past this part. All right, perfect. So once you have your Gmail account set up, we can go over to Shopify and start our free trial. Now, just note, you won't be able to take any orders on your free trial, although you can get your store built and your apps installed and all the backend stuff set up, so you don't have to pay right away. So let's go ahead and put our new email we just made in here. And after this, Shopify is going to ask you a few questions. I mean, honestly, none of these questions really matter. You can just kind of skip over all of them. You definitely want to put the correct country or region you're in. And success. So once you've gotten to this screen, this is essentially your Shopify dashboard. Now, just going over the dashboard, you'll notice on the left, this is where all of our tabs are. So you'll see things like the home dashboard, and this is where you'll see any important information about your store once you start getting sales and start having customer interactions. Orders is where all of the orders you get on your store will come in. You'll be able to see customer details, shipping addresses, order numbers. So when you end up hiring a virtual assistant later down the road, this is where you'll want to give them permissions to look at, so orders tab. Now you can also look at products. Now we will be shortly adding the product we just found manually into the back end of our Shopify store. Now you also have all these other columns like collections, which you can create custom collections for your products. So if I had like different types of water bottles, or really the sky's the limit with this. So different collections, gift cards, customers, you probably won't use this tab much, but this essentially just gives you all of your customer data. Finances, this is where you see all of the back end, money going in, money going out for your Shopify account. You can set up a Shopify balance account, or you can just have it direct deposit into your business bank account. And then analytics is the next important one. This is going to show you your store's conversion rate for the day, any daily revenue, how many orders you have. A lot of data you should be looking at on the daily basis, again, once you start getting sales. Or even store sessions, just to see like what the customer journey or customer interaction is like on your website. Reports, again, same thing, just kind of like more in-depth analytics about your store. Live view, this can be fun to watch if you have a ton of different online sessions at the moment and you can see people adding things to the cart and stuff. Marketing, a lot of this will be done outside of the Shopify app, and you'll be doing this on Facebook and on TikTok. So you won't be doing like marketing through the Shopify dashboard. And then you have the discounts tab, which this is where you're going to create any discounts for any sale promotions you're running, or any manual discount codes you need to create for any upset customers. So you could just go to this tab here. And again, we're going to go in, we're going to deep dive in each of these here in a bit. I just want to give you a brief overview. So first things first, you're going to want to go to settings and then click payments, because you won't be able to accept any payments from like Visa or PayPal until you activate Shopify payments or activate your PayPal payments. This is going to be a self-guided tour. Essentially, they're just going to ask for your business information. You're going to want to put all your personal information here. You don't want to lie about any of this. Shopify uses this to verify you on the back end. Make sure you put all the correct information in here. Shopify won't share this data with anyone. This is more so just for Shopify's end. Later on, when you set up the shipping, you can set up like a PO box if you don't want customers to see your physical address or your personal physical address. So you need to go to the payments tab. You need to set up, I recommend Shopify payments. It's the easiest, and it's one of the first things you should set up. So this will accept like all the major like Visa, Apple Pay, all of the big ones here. I also like to set up PayPal just because I've noticed at least like 30 to 40% of my customers use PayPal. A lot of the time that's because they feel safer, just because PayPal gives them that extra layer of protection. So PayPal is another good one to set up. And then especially with everything going on in the current economy, I definitely recommend setting up some type of pay in installments plan. So there's different third-party payment providers such as Klarna, there's Afterpay, there's Affirm, and there's ShopPay. There's probably more, but those are just like some of the main ones. To add any type of third payment party processor, you just need to go to add payment methods. If I wanted to add Klarna per se, that's the one I used. I would just type in Klarna here, and then you'll see it pop up. Now you can click this. and then just click activate. Again, now for Klarna, it might be a little different. You need to essentially connect your Klarna account. So for any third-party processors, you'll need to sign up on their individual website. So I would just go on Google, I would type in Klarna for business sign up. It should be like the first link. And then essentially I would just click get started. For a lot of these, you'll have to apply. It doesn't take long. It just takes a few days. And then if you're accepted, they'll give you an email back within the few days on how to connect it to your store and how to get all of the rest of that set up. So that's how you would connect it there. But again, setting up payments is one of the first things I would do just to make sure you can accept payments when you are ready and to launch your store. The next thing I would probably set up after doing payments on your store is the legal policies. Now this is important if you plan on running any ads or having really any people on your website at all. Google will crawl your website and look for these pages. So you'll run into a lot of issues if you do not do this step. So essentially you're just going to want to go to settings here, again, settings tab. We're looking for something called legal or policies. Okay, so it's down here, it's called policies. Now Shopify has a lot of good default policies you can use, so you just create from template. I will say if it doesn't pre-select your email, you want to make sure your email's in here. Now you can use the free Gmail one we just bought. You can also go and create a more professional email later on. I would suggest waiting until you at least have consistent sales, and then you can sign up for a professional email under like GoDaddy or G Suite. You can get like support@aquafuser.com, so something a little more professional, but for now this will be perfect. So you can just wait to do like the professional email later on. This will be perfect for now. So click replace with template. That will be good to go, and then you can read through it. I suggest reading through it just to make sure. So like this one, their preset template has a 30-day return policy. If that's not something you would like to offer your customers or want to change that, you can go ahead and change that here. But I would just continue scrolling down for the sake of this video. We are going to just fill with templates for all of these here. The shipping policy actually does not have a template. It's pretty similar to the refund policy. What you can do is go and search on your competitor's website. At the bottom of their website in the footer, they should have something saying shipping policy. You can just copy that. Well, I wouldn't copy it word for word, but you can take inspiration from it, see what they say, and then kind of get ideas on what to put for your shipping policy. So once you have preset the templates in there, just go ahead and click save. It's going to say store policy saved. Go ahead and exit out of that. Now that was only the first half of the step as far as setting up our store policy. The next thing is we actually want to add this to our footer menu. So we want to go to navigation under online store. It's going to bring up this menu here. You'll see the footer menu and the main menu. You just want to click into the footer menu. And then as you can see right here, right now we only have the search button. So we can just click add new menu item. We're going to go over to link and then click policies. And essentially you just want to add all of the policies we just made. So I'll start off with terms of service and then continue to add the refund policy and one more policy. You have the privacy policy, and then again you would want to make sure you have the shipping policy also there. I'm just going to click save, and that way when we go to our online store, as you can see when we scroll to the bottom, now we have these new policies here. So the next thing we're going to do is actually sync our domain. So if we go back to our Shopify dashboard, you're going to want to go to settings and then scroll down and you're looking for domains. Now if you bought your domain on GoDaddy, or there's actually some other providers that let you do this, but you can connect an existing domain. Essentially we're just going to want to type in the domain we purchased. So aquafuser.com, I think it was. aquafuser.com. Okay, so it recognized it was a GoDaddy domain. It's just going to have me connect it here. So click connect and then click close. It might take a few minutes to verify the connection. So it looks like we got some type of error here. Domain connection incomplete. So I would just click verify. Most of the time this fixes it. Okay, so as you can see, all I did was continue clicking verify and it looks like it worked. So now as you can see, your domain aquafuser.com was successfully connected. So when we go to more actions, so now this should be, if I click into it, it should be our primary domain for our online store, and we can check that by just going to this little button here right next to online store. It just brings up a new tab with your store. The domain is all hooked up and ready to go. If it does not give you that connect automatically, you'll just need to follow the manual instructions for connecting your domain, but most providers at this point offer that connect automatically, so you should be good to go. Next thing I wanted to talk about is the apps category. Now Shopify offers, like, it seems like thousands of apps you can add to your store. If I just go to the Shopify app store, a few ones I can think of right off the top of my head would be some type of page builder app. So I like to use Pagefly. It makes it super easy to drag and drop to build websites. Now, Shopify's new themes, their 2.0 themes, are pretty easy to edit, although I just like to have full control over editing my website. And then since I have experience with Pagefly, I just think it's easier and all in all pretty great. They have really great customer service and are always super helpful. So Pagefly, there's also Gem Pages, Shogun. So there's a few page building apps. I just like Pagefly. So we have that one installed. We'll go back to our dashboard. A few more I definitely recommend are something for email and SMS marketing. So anyone who gets on your website and you can capture their email, we want to be able to retarget them with our emails. Now, I personally use an app called Klaviyo. They do have a free plan. So these apps are pretty bare bones, ones that I definitely recommend your store to have. So I'm just going to add this one as well. And then going through a few other apps I recommend, one is called Lucky Orange. Now what this app does is essentially gives you a heat map view of the back end of your website. So if you're having a high bounce rate, meaning a lot of people are adding to cart and not purchasing your product, you can install this app here, and it will kind of show you customer interactions, where people are clicking, if there's any place they're getting stuck in your funnel. So definitely recommend Lucky Orange. Going down the list, you definitely need some type of review app for your product. So what I like to do is use something called Ali Reviews. There's also apps like Loox, and that's LOX. Now the reason I like Ali Reviews is because you can bring in reviews from an AliExpress listing, but then what you can do is kind of edit the reviews, change the photos into your branding. So depending on how ethical you are, you can use Ali Reviews or just install something like Loox and ask your friends and family to write reviews for you. So you definitely need some type of review app. Going down the list, the next thing I like to do is called email signatures. So what email signatures are is essentially it's this free app that lets you customize the look of your emails when sending emails. So if you've ever been emailing a brand and noticed that they have a custom signature at the bottom of their email, you can just install this app here. It's super easy to install and it's free, which is a bonus. So definitely check email signatures out. And then there's only a few others I recommend. So one-click upsells. So if you're selling a product that has multiple variations or is a good product that you could sell more than one to the customer, I definitely recommend one-click upsell, or a lot of people call it OCU. This will help you offer bundled discounts, so buy one or buy two, get the second one at 20% off, etc. So OCU is definitely the fantastic app for this. I've used it for such a long time. And then the last apps you'd want to install are any marketing channels that you plan on using when running ads to your store. So for example, I would add the Facebook channel here. This is just going to allow you to sync your Facebook account, set up your pixel on the back end, and then you could also do the TikTok channel if you plan on running any TikTok ads, which I definitely recommend right now. So we're going to go ahead and click add app here, and we're going to add that as a sales channel. So once you have your apps installed, the next thing we would need to get to is finding a reliable supplier. I wanted to take a minute to talk about finding a supplier because there's a few different ways you can go about sourcing a product. You've all heard of AliExpress, Alibaba. There's a few other ones like CJ Dropshipping, which typically has faster shipping. One other one I've used recently is called Zendrop. So just searching for this product, if we hop back into the computer, as you can see, I searched for this product on AliExpress and I was able to find it. Now it looks like it's $5.51. Although what I'm looking at here is just this shipping method. So it looks like a lot of these are pretty long shipping, and especially some of these bottom ones are super expensive. So this would not allow us to be profitable down here. And then that first one, this looks like today is the 7th, so this looks like about 20-day shipping. So this one, it's not ideal, just to keep in mind kind of how long each platform takes. So AliExpress, we can take this price in mind. And I also found out on Alibaba. Now, of course, it's going to be cheaper on here, and that's because suppliers on Alibaba are looking for or wanting you to order the product in bulk. Now, this can be very good, and this can allow you to lower the cost per unit, but I would almost never recommend ordering in bulk prior to validating any type of demand for your product. So you want to kind of find the middle ground. Shipping times will be long in the beginning, but it's important to continue looking. So I found this product on Zendrop as well, and as you can see, the product cost is $4.23, and then it looks like regular shipping is anytime between 10 and 15 days. So it's a little better than AliExpress, still not the best, but we could probably get away with this in the beginning just to validate demand. So I'm going to be adding this to the store. Now there's a few different things to think about when adding this to your store, or a few things I wanted to point out. So if you're using a company like Zendrop or CJ Dropshipping, you'll see they have buttons called like add to import list, and what it's essentially going to do is automatically import these products into your store, and that way when you get orders, it will automatically update in Zendrop or CJ Dropshipping. Or if you're doing print on demand, it works pretty similar. It's a little different when you're using one of those services, just because the product is automatically updated into your Shopify dashboard, whereas if you're doing AliExpress or Alibaba, you need to manually add the product into your dashboard and then manually upload the orders to your supplier. So for today, we're just going to be manually adding the product to the back end, just so you can get a better understanding of how to add the product. So if we go to our Shopify dashboard and click the products tab, you should see this blank thing here, and you're just going to want to click add product. Now I went ahead and downloaded all of the products off the supplier's website. Now when starting out, I don't necessarily recommend just ripping the products from the supplier's website. A lot of the platforms like Facebook and TikTok will see these images and know that they're kind of generic, and kind of flag your account on the back end. So I always recommend ordering a sample, taking your own photos and videos, even if it's with your iPhone. That is custom content, kind of builds trust in your customer. So you don't need to go spend thousands of dollars on custom photography in the beginning, but just anything that you can do on your own, or even use, there's a service called Suna, which is like $39 a photo. So you don't need to spend a ton, but just for the sake of this example, we are going to just use the photos from the supplier. So I'm just going to take all the photos we downloaded and drag them into this listing. And then as that's loading, you can see we have all of the product photos. Now this is where you'll add the product title. So we'll just do water bottle infuser. Now I'm going to change this later on, just because this is a pretty generic name, and I typically like to do something unique. That way, when a customer's on my website, they don't see the name of my product, copy, and then paste it right into Amazon. So actually, I'm actually going to change this to like Aqua Infuser Pro, just so it gives it that branded aspect. I would probably sit and think about this a little more if I was actually going to launch this brand, but again, this is just for an example. So we have some photos in here. Just remember the photo in the beginning here, this is like your hero image. This is the image that's going to show on your site, the first image that's going to show. So for our product here, we do have different variants, and what that means is we offer different colors for our product. So if you scroll down, and there should be this option here, this product has multiple options. So we have different color options, and it looks like we'll do black. Actually, we can just check Zendrop here. So if we look at variants, red, white, orange, yellow, blue, and green, and black. So essentially all the colors. So going back to the Shopify dashboard, scroll down, we'll do black, orange, yellow. For the sake of this video, we'll just add that many. So click done. You can always add more variants. So like if I also had different sizes, I would add that there. But I want to click done there, and you can rearrange them. So if you wanted clear to show up first and then black, or yellow to show up first, it really doesn't matter. But it really doesn't matter which variants you show first. I'm just going to leave in that order. So on the subject of pricing, I just put it at $24.99. Now I did that because typically you want at least a 3x markup from your landed cost. So I just took our product cost plus our shipping, which looks like it was $3.76, so roughly $8. So I'm just going to multiply that by 3. I at least need to charge $24.99, and then later on we would add upsales and cross sales and ways to boost our average order value, just to bring in a healthier margin. One thing to note, if you have variants like this, you're going to want to click select, and then you'll want to click, now I don't have the specific color photos for this product, but if this was the black color option, I would click black. And then same for the yellow. You'd want to go through and add the individual photos, just so as you clicked those colors in on your landing page, it would show the colors variation, if that makes sense. So we actually don't have all the color options here just because we stole them from the Alibaba listing, but we'll just select a few of these so you have a good idea. Click that. So click save. And again, if you want to preview, I guess, some of your progress as you're doing some of these things, you can always click the online store button. Now it won't actually show us anything because we haven't designed our store. So the next step would essentially be designing our store. So personally, I like to use page builders. What you can do, first of all, if you want to install a theme and just use the default Shopify theme editor, you would come over here, scroll down to their Explore Free Themes. Now Shopify has these new Shopify 2.0 themes, which are actually pretty easy to use and pretty easy to design. So if I were to just click this one here, We'll do add to theme library. All right, so after that theme is installed, you're going to click actions and then publish. What this is going to do is just publish it over your current theme, because currently, or as you install Shopify, I think it gives you dawn, depending on when you're watching this video. So now once you have the new 2.0 theme installed, you can click customize. Now this is what I was talking about as far as Shopify's default editor. Now it has come a long way since Shopify first launched. I personally still prefer something like a page builder because it's more drag and drop and just easier to use in my opinion, but you definitely could edit your website through Shopify's 2.0 editor, so you could check that out. But what I'm going to do is actually click exit, go into apps, and then open Pagefly. Now, like I said, Pagefly is just like a landing page builder. You can do your home page, your landing page, and really anything in here. So first off, we're going to go to pages. We're going to start on the landing page. I typically start on the landing page. You really can start wherever. So we'll go product page. What I like to do is click create from template, because what this does is just gives me something to work with rather than just like a white screen or like a blank start. So what you can do is click on the left, product pages, and then just scroll to the top. Now I would just scroll through these and find one that fits your brand. You can always change the colors and stuff. So actually, I like in the top here how it shows these little, how it has these little fruits. So like we can just delete this. And what you'll do is like product details, you just click select. This product is not, okay, so if you do get this error, it's pretty simple to fix. You're just gonna go to products. Essentially it said it was marked as a draft, so we wanna change this from a draft to active, meaning the product is active and ready to be sold. So we'll click active, save. Once that's saved, we should be able to, and we might have to refresh our page here. I guess that's a good note. Anytime you launch a new product, make sure it is marked as active on all sales channels. Otherwise, you will not see it in your store and you will not be able to create a page with it on your page builder. So, all right, so once you've marked your product as active, you can come back into Pagefly and you can just click from one of the pre-selected templates. So you can browse like product pages, home pages, etc. You're just going to want to find one, like for this water bottle, I'm just going to find one that is a bit more colorful. And like I said, we can kind of change everything once we get inside the template. So if I select that, we can just start kind of editing everything that we don't want from the template. So since this is a product page, we don't need like a big hero image above that. And I mean, with the page builder apps, it's pretty simple. It's a lot of drag and drop. So as you can see, I'm just going to select the product here. It will automatically put our product in, and then you can just kind of start changing things around. So page builders, it might take you a little bit to learn, but again, I think this is definitely worth learning down the road, because if you ever want to make changes to your website, you'll just know how and you won't have to go pay like a custom coder. And then, yeah, so anytime you want to make changes, and then also it's just a good skill to have to go replicate and be able to build more websites. It's just a very valuable skill. So I definitely think that taking the time and learning, you know, all of these tools here are pretty simple to use. Like I said, it's really just drag and drop. So, you know, even if I want to remove this countdown here, I'm just going to click the countdown, go up here to countdown, and then click delete. So it won't take you that long to learn. I think it took me maybe a week or two to really get the hang of it. It really just depends how much experience you have in computers and I guess website development and stuff like that. But again, it's super easy. So like I would just go through here and I want to replace all the images. So just click here. I've already uploaded the images to Pagefly. I would go through, add in some images. Now this template already had rounded images. I personally like the rounded images. For little tips like this, you can just click the image, click styling here, scroll down to where it says border, click more settings, and as you can see, the border radius is at 25 point right now. So that, in addition to adding a drop shadow, which is just this button here, I think add a nice little touch to your website. So you can do this with all your pictures by just copying the style from this one. So just clicking, I believe it's this button here, and then going over to this picture and click pasting here. So as you can see, it added that drop shadow just like we had on the first one. So I would go through, replace all the photos. So we'll go here, replace this one. And then as far as color palette goes, I typically like to use a website called Coolers color palette, and this website's pretty neat. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll see that I recommend it and use it on my own brands. So essentially you just want to pick like a color palette that goes well together. So by hitting the space bar, you can kind of generate different color palettes, and then if you find one you like, you can kind of lock it up and then continue pressing space until you find 5 colors that work for you. So I would essentially just be copying these hex codes here, and then going back into my page builder, and let's say I wanted to change the background of this section, I would just go to styling, and then I would scroll down to background color and kind of put it in right here. So as you can see, it changed the background color, I guess somewhat of a nice contrast. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to finish updating this website, make it look nice, and then I will see you afterwards. Alright, so now that you've spent some time in Pagefly and made your website look nice, replacing the photos, adding in some custom content, make sure you have reviews, so it should look something like this, or just at least professional. So after that, we want to change the logo up here, because as you can see, we don't have our logo, we just have the text version of our logo. So what I like to do is use canva.com. Now you can just search like logo on Canva, and then it will, so Canva has all these different templates. You can just search something like water under the logo section, and you'll see all of the different logos that pop up. We don't need to spend too much time finding a logo, so we can just use something like this and rename it Aqua Fuser, and then we'll drag it out to make it look nice, kind of center it, maybe change this to infused water. Perfect. Then you just want to download this out. Now anytime you are downloading, you want to make sure you do a transparent background and then make it as big as you can, just because the logo is going to show up on our website and we don't want the white background showing on our website. So get that downloaded there, and then we want to go over to Shopify, so pull back Shopify up, and then go to online store. All right, so once you've downloaded your transparent logo, you're just gonna go over to online store. You're gonna click customize, and then click header here. Now I've already put the logo in, but you would just put your new logo in here. The preview seems to be broken, but if we just click save and then go to our actual website, you can see that the logo has indeed published, so we're good to go there. Now the next thing on the list would be covering shipping. So you're just gonna wanna go to the settings tab, click shipping and delivery. Shipping is pretty easy to set up. It depends how you're sourcing your product. If you're doing something like print on demand or syncing your Shopify account with something like CJ dropshipping, then more than likely that shipping is going to be automatically synced to your shipping dashboard. On the other hand, if you're doing AliExpress or Alibaba manually importing your product, then you need to manually set up your shipping. So we just go into our general shipping category here. You can click manage. Now we have, right now it looks like we have Canada and the US. Now for shipping, there's a few different ways to do it. First of all, if you wanted to do free shipping, you would just click here, click edit, and then you wouldn't do either of these options here, remove conditions. So you can do custom flat rate. You can just do, I like to name it something like express, and then offer free shipping. So if you're going to do this, make sure you add in the cost of shipping to your product, or just understand your KPIs and can offer free shipping. Aside from that, you can also do free shipping based on price. So what I like to do often is do free shipping over $50 of products being ordered, because if I'm selling a product that's $30, that is incentivizing the customer to order more than one product to get free shipping. So I would just do free shipping, minimum price $50. So that is another way to do it. And the final way is weight-based shipping. So for weight-based shipping, you would essentially go back into your products. So we'll go into our water bottle here, and then we can just select all variants. So we'll do bulk editor, and then I will add in weight to the column here. And then you would just want to make sure you're setting a weight for your product. So for example, if I had them weigh 1 pound each, I would go back to my shipping, and so go into settings and then shipping. We can do manage our current. Essentially, you would just edit here. So you can do weight based. So if it's 1, meaning if they ordered 1 product all the way to 2 products, then we'll do $5 shipping. And then if you wanted to do 2 to 4 pounds, then you could offer free shipping. So that's just another way to add shipping. As far as adding new countries, you can essentially create a shipping zone here. Let's say I wanted to send packages to Mexico. I would just click Mexico here, name the zone on my end, and then you can click subcategories as well. So click done, and then you can have separate rates for each country you add. So after that, just click save and your shipping will be set up. Now going back to our backend or automation, we would want to set up our email campaigns, welcome campaigns. So if I just launch Klaviyo here, all right, so now we are in the Klaviyo dashboard. This is where you're going to set up things like your welcome flow and abandoned cart flow to capture customers' emails and then retarget them later. So a few I recommend setting up right off the bat would be like the welcome series. Klaviyo makes it super simple. You can just click get started and select which list you'd want it to go to, click continue, and they're going to fill in their template. So You can go in here, edit all the information, edit the emails, and you should be good to go for Klaviyo. So super simple process. Like I said, they have a ton of templates you can use when it comes to abandoned cart, customer thank you, confirm shipping. Definitely recommend Klaviyo. So going back into Shopify, once you have Klaviyo set up, you have your website set up, shipping is set up, there's not many extra things you need to do at this point other than setting up one of your sales channels. So obviously you have Google, Facebook, TikTok, there's Instagram, Pinterest. There's a ton of different ways to, bring customers into your site. That's both organic and paid traffic. So we'll use TikTok, for example. Essentially, you would just download the TikTok app on the App Store and then go to the sales channel here. And then it's a pretty self-guided process. You would just click Set Up Now and then continue connecting your TikTok business account. Once that's set up, you are good to start running ads. So we've effectively set up our Shopify store. We've gone over everything from adding products in manually, shipping times, adding a logo, how you can design your store via the Shopify backend, or how I like to do it, which is Pagefly, using templates and then just kind of dragging and dropping things in place. We've gone over adding sales channels as well as purchasing and syncing a domain to the back end of Shopify. I hope this tutorial helped you understand the process of getting a Shopify store set up with a product, pictures, and everything on the back end. That way you can start making sales. If you found this video helpful, I appreciate you staying till the end. Definitely like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.